Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Professors of Profit Vlogcast. I'm your host, Dr. F Scott Feil, and I have the pleasure of chatting today with one of my heroes lately, somebody who I've been following for a little while and I just can't get enough of, Dr. Ashley Johnson. Ashley, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us, about your educational background and how it's gotten you to where you're at now.
Alrighty, so I am from a Chicago suburb, Bolingbrook, Illinois. Um, Very athletic, played basketball, softball, volleyball. Ended up going to IUPUI in Indianapolis on a volleyball scholarship. My mom is an occupational therapist and director of rehab. So I forever knew that I wanted to go into PT. So, when you're trying to figure out your major and stuff like that, it was kind of a blessing because every school that was recruiting me, I was like, I want to be a physical therapist. I knew the tracks that I had to go. I was kind of fortunate to have guidance about the profession early on. Um, so I did my undergrad at IUPUI, and that's when I was introduced to biomechanical analysis in sport. I worked under Dr. Jake Streepy, and was the first professor to really show how sport related to joints and performance. And with me already loving physical therapy and now getting this research background that, was kind of put it all together for me, at that moment, I was a sophomore in college and I was like, volleyball, we even looked at some of, for projects I did, we looked at some of my teammates and he was like, you see how her shoulder hurts because her joint angle is like this. And I felt like it was something that was very mind blowing. I was like, Dr. Streepy, we have to tell the world. And then he was just like, Ash, the world doesn't care about science until until they need us, right? Until it's so detrimental that we need to answer a question or, you just want to know. And so literally from undergrad, I knew deep in my belly that I was going to pursue, relating volleyball to physical therapy. I then went on to Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia from 2012 to 2015 and graduated there. Um, After that, I had the opportunity to pursue my PhD at the University of South Florida. I wasn't able to complete that chapter of my journey, and it's basically because flashback to college with Dr. Streepy, I wanted to do research with volleyball. I had someone telling me it was credible, it's needed. And I wanted to pursue that for my dissertation, and it just didn't fall in line with what the program wanted at the time. And so me being myself, I'm like, I need money. I'm not gonna waste any time studying and creating something that's not gonna help benefit my practice or my profession for what I wanted to do within the profession. And so I basically left after that and immediately immersed myself back into volleyball. So I was coaching in Tampa, owned my own volleyball club in Tampa with the hopes that I could potentially, train the girls, prevent injury, yada, yada, yada. Through the likes of that, I have found that you cannot create change if you do not own, right? So I can tell these girls to train this way, but if their coach doesn't buy into me, if the program doesn't buy into me, they're not gonna do it, right? So I had a lot of hiccups early on, I wanna say 2 years ago, trying to I was kind of forcing people. I was angry, you guys are gonna get injured. I'm so passionate, right? So I had to take a step back and look at it differently. And that's what landed me into Atlanta. So instead of me forcing myself upon people and not getting value financially and, professionally, I gave people the opportunity to see who wanted me, right? So I sent an email out to all the clubs across the nation, every junior Olympic volleyball club that has 18 and under programs. And I said, I'm Dr. Ashley Johnson. I'm a former college athlete. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. The NCAA says we have these problems in volleyball athletes and they don't know how to fix it. I believe we need to fix it from the junior level and implement training and, over being aware of overuse injuries. And maybe then, through longitudinal study, we can see that volleyball players at 30 aren't getting rotator cuff repairs, right? Of all the clubs I emailed, I landed in Atlanta because Tsunami Volleyball said, not only do we want you, we need you and we have the space for you. And that's really what opened up my entrepreneurial gate, is because I took what I was already good at, which was sport, what I was, groomed and educated to be, which is a physical therapist. And I immediately planted myself in my community. So that's basically my ground zero up until right now.
Yeah, that is an awesome story, and I love that so much. I want to talk a little bit about your entrepreneurial side because this episode is actually not one of the scheduled episodes that I have. I have about 100 episodes on the Professors of Profit vlogcast that I'm looking to complete on side gigs and side hustles that
Mhm.
professors and physical therapists and really anyone in the healthcare field can perform to try to either pay down their student loans quicker and or start investing and trying to get to the personal wealth and growth of wealth aspect of things. And so,
Right.
you embody a lot of that. You definitely get it. You see the bigger picture, I think, which I love, and that's why I love following you and all your stuff that you're putting out. The way that you've crafted your clinic, the way that you've kind of handled the cash pay model, and all the things that you're trying to do and accomplish to not only move the profession forward, but move your practice forward and your business forward has just been outstanding. And so, one of the ways
Thank
that
you.
you
Thank
kind
you.
of, I don't know, I'll say, quickly funded or were able to kind of give a little bit of a boost to your practice was through a kind of non-traditional side hustle and side gig, and that's Forex trading. And I
Yeah.
wanted to bring you on here today to talk about it. Like I said, a special episode because it's something I'm now just getting into because of you. So thank you for that. I'm learning.
Good.
We try to be lifelong learners, right? But where we tend to learn and where we put our efforts is super important, I think. And so
Right.
I'm really interested about Forex trading, but tell us a little bit, tell our audience a little bit about what Forex trading is and how you kind of got into it.
Right, right. So forex trading is basically trading on the foreign exchange market. So like say for instance, we have like 5 US dollars, right? And then we go to Canada and that 5 US dollars becomes like $4.85 because at that moment the Canadian weighs more than the US. But say for instance, now you have 485 in Canadian and you just had to like leave, go back home, and you weren't able to exchange your Canadian dollar for US and Canada. You come back to the US, 2 days later, and all of a sudden that 485 is 540. And so you made 40 cents by, exchanging. So that's like the basic idea of it. The science behind it, the intricacies are crazy. It's like stats on 1,000, but you actually get financial benefit. So it's like once I was introduced to it and I was like, okay, well, how do you know when to buy it? How do you know when to sell it? How do you know when to make profit? And so basically I started learning. As you said, we are lifelong learners. Read a book, watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast. We have so much at our disposal these days to make money that it's honestly up to us to have the, ingenuity, the ambition, and the time and dedication to do something that to dedicate yourself to become lucrative. I've seen a lot of negative things about forex trading, which I dislike, from people that don't really understand it in whole, right? This has been around for years, since the beginning of the stock exchange, since the Chinese made coins and pennies. We used to barter, livestock and plants and all that. Then we got coinage, then we got the dollar. Now we have cryptocurrency, right? So we're just like progressing. And it's like, as we progress, I'm not going to miss out on these bubbles because there was a crazy kid I will never forget this. It was my sophomore year of undergrad and I was a double full ride. They don't really do this anymore where I had like a full academic and a full athletic. So my refunds will be quite nice. And he was trying to tell all the student athletes, y'all, you need to buy this Bitcoin. It's $100. I'll never forget this. He said, Ashley, take $1,000 from your refund check and buy 10 Bitcoin. I was like, I'm not buying no Bitcoin. How am I going to find it? Da, da, da. At the time, this boy had 250 Bitcoins. I don't know where you are, Tyler, but I know you're rich and I'm so sorry. I hate that I didn't listen.
It is awesome. I can't wait for the follow-up episode where we get Tyler on here to see which island he's bought and how he's doing.
For real. And this was in 2008. So Tyler had 250 Bitcoins in 2008. And he lived like a poor man. So he put everything he had into buying. So I can only imagine Tyler from IUPUI class of 2010, if you're out there. So long story short, because of that situation that I learned in 08 and now Bitcoin's on the rise, I refuse to have myself be left behind again. So that's why I dove deep and tried to understand and things like that. So basically, when I'm trading, because I've been working full time up until this past year when I went out on my own, I would trade from 4:30 a.m. until 7:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. I would have a 7 o'clock patient and I would literally be like ending my trading day at work. And it came to a point where my patients were like, it's okay, Doc J, I'm gonna do these short arc quads, just close that trade. So it was something that I could have my full-time job. I just had to wake up at 4 hours early and dedicate time, dedicate study. I started making $20 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day. And last year I was assistant coaching at Clark Atlanta, the volleyball program. And there's a no phone rule, right? And so we were on the bus and I was like, no phones, girls. And one of the girls texted me. She's like, Coach AJ, like, I need to pay my rent. I'm going to have my phone because I need to trade. And I'm like, what? So I go in the back of the bus and I'm literally looking at her on her phone. And this was different than me because I'm using like Ameritrade at this point. I'm using your normal trading platforms. And she's on her phone. And I'm like, how are you trading on your phone? She was like, yeah, Coach AJ, I start with about $50 on Monday and I'll have 500 by Friday. I was like, by Friday? My Ameritrade doesn't move like that. So apparently it all my experience originated with the colleges and at the HBCUs in Atlanta, Morehouse, Spelman, Clark. There's a group of kids who started learning about trades and had someone, I believe a professor, right, introduced them to a learning platform, an e-learning platform. They didn't have to go to conferences because of COVID. They just had to pay a monthly fee to get all this information, lectures, live and pre-recorded, different learning tools and apps to help you understand indicators and how to actually understand the statistical analysis of trading so you can be more profitable. So trading can be gambling, honestly, because it's either buy or sell 50-50, right? But if you apply analytics and what your indicators, now when I'm trading, I'm like 90%, 10%, I'm making my trades. So now I'm clearing $200, $300 a day, $500 a day. So as you said, I had this in my back pocket, right? But I'm still at my full-time job. And then I'm at the volleyball gym at night doing my side hustle for PT. So at every part of the day, I'm making money. You have to find a way to always make money. And ForEx allowed me to increase an income stream without having to require my presence. I didn't have to be here to make this money. I can make money on ForEx while at work, at the volleyball gym. It's a 24-hour market, 5 days a week. And as much as we're on social media, if you just spent the time that we're on social media and put that into trading, it could be very profitable. And it's just something I wish I had in PT school.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, and again, right? Like, let's look at the bigger picture here. When we're in PT school, we're in there for a reason. We're in there to learn the necessities we need to become a safe practitioner
Mhm.
and take our board exam and pass it, and then eventually go on to be clinicians, right?
Right.
So I get it. Like, especially when it comes to business and entrepreneurship, there's not a whole lot of time in the curriculum to teach that kind of stuff because it's not on the NPTE
Boards.
exam.
Right.
So I get it. Like, if you're a professor, you're almost handcuffed a little bit by what needs to be taught in this short amount of time you have to get all the knowledge out there so that they're prepped and ready for the test. After that, they can go on and learn all this other stuff that they need to, right? But this is
Mhm.
just, like you said, basic financial stuff that's been around for quite some time. It could even have gone back to high school. We probably should have learned about this stuff, even if you didn't want to pursue it. It
Right.
should have been presented as options and things that can be done, right? And like you said, it is a risk, it is a gamble, but the more you learn about it, the more time you put in, the lower that risk becomes, right? You're mitigating the risk. So,
Right.
I do think that it's a really neat side hustle. I think that it's something that can benefit anybody, and it's something that can be done while students are in school, possibly paying their loans down before they even graduate, so they could graduate without
Yeah.
any student loan debt.
Yes.
So
So I had
you wouldn't need other side hustles. You
right,
just
right. So
that.
I had a mentee of mine, and he was worried about making rent and different things. Like, now they're getting to the numbers. Now when we're applying, we're looking at tuition and we're like, ooh, living and how much is the Grad Plus loan? How much is the Stafford? And he was like, I don't know if I'll make it. I have to work, and my program tells me we can't work. So that's a barrier. And as a Black physical therapist, my community sees that barrier a lot strongly than the other counterparts. And so when I'm in these Twitter worlds and they're like, how do we increase Black physical therapists? We're poor. We don't have generational wealth. We lack that. We lack the ability for our fathers, our grandfathers to pay our tuition in cash, to take loans from family members. A lot of us don't have that access. However, we have the aptitude and the knowledge and the fortitude to get through a program, to be a doctor. And we're just stopped at the front door. And it's just like I've been thinking about, we can talk and have all these great conversations, but it's like, how do we really make change right now?
Right. And these are some options that are leveling the playing field. We just need to give people more of a voice and a platform to put it out there and say, here it is. Trust me on this one. Go implement, you know?
Right. So let's say, for instance, we have a DPT student, right? Typically they have roommates, 2 or 3. So let's say their living is like $600 a month. They got a car note, let's say that's 200, insurance, that's 100. So this kid needs like $1,000 to $1,200 a month, right? I am so sorry. I'm getting COVID test right now. 1 second. 1 second.
Not a problem. So this is actually the fun stuff. I get to chat a little bit while COVID testing goes on in the background. But I think if we had the chance and the opportunity to learn this stuff at a much earlier age, we could get through and choose which schools we wanted to go to, which programs we wanted to go to, and what we wanted to get into, based on choice, not because we had to, because of a price or because of the cost. I literally chose jobs after I graduated because of the rate of pay and because of the benefits. And if we could implement some of these things so that we started out on a much better foot, we wouldn't have to make those decisions. We could choose what we wanted to because we wanted to do it, not because of the cost or what they were going to pay us for it. So, I think realistically, these are the kind of things we need to start bringing to people's attention that can be done in the background to help mitigate the risks and to help kind of get you through any program without too much student loan debt. And then start off on a right foot. If you wanted to go in and start your own business, that's a good way to get some seed money. So I think realistically, there's a bunch of options out there, and this is a great one. So I'm sorry, continue.
Right. No, I'm sorry about that. I'm actually, oh, you're good.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually rapid testing for this volleyball tournament this weekend. So, anywho, like I was
Real life,
saying,
real life.
real life stuff. Real life stuff. So, let's say we have a DPT student that has living expenses of $1,200, right? When we're trading on the ForEx market, you're trading for 5 days out of the week, right? So you basically, or 5 days out of the week, which is 20 days a month, basically. So that student would have to only make $60 a day on the foreign exchange market to pay for all their stuff, right? In order to make $60 a day, you can open a ForEx trading account for 30 bucks. 30 bucks to start, and you can make $60 a day. It's literally poor man's trading. You don't have to have the $1,000 bank, like $1,000 trading account, $5,000 trading account. You just need enough to make ends meet. You can easily make $60. That's on the low end. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and if they lose that $30, it's 30 to lose, but it's not 1,000. And if we do it smart, like we do our education for our careers, you dedicate yourself to learning and practice before you use your real currency, right? And so when you're trading on a demo account or just like the Monopoly play money, practicing your strategies, once I started making $100 a day on my demo account, I put real money in. I said, all right, I made $100 a day for 10 trading days. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I know how to moderate. I know how to do my risk to ratio management, all that good stuff. Let's go. And when I tell you, I've had patients of mine tell me about their financial issues, teachers, bankers, people that, because, bankers aren't getting banking hours anymore. A lot of banks aren't having the lobby open, right? And so they're trying to figure out how to make extra income. And so when I tell them how I do it, they're just like, oh, okay, how do I do it? And I'm like, join the learning platform, learn. And so they're already at home. A lot of people that are out of work are already at home. Now's an opportunity to learn something that will allow you to make money through the pandemic and also forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing skill to learn. And like I said, if you're gonna be a lifelong learner, you're gonna learn skills. You might as well learn skills that are useful, right? Whether it be
Right.
digital marketing, whether it be, Forex trading, whether it be video and audio editing, like things that can be put forth to other people where you can offer services or that can make you and your business money, right? I mean,
Right.
because again, I never in a million years planned for a pandemic. I don't think anybody did, right? But I diversified myself enough over the last 5 years or so to where I teach full time. I work part time PRN as in the clinic and the skilled nursing facility and home health. I've got my book online. I've got my courses online. I've got consulting that I do. There's just so many things that I've got now that I'm good. Like,
Right.
I want you guys to be good too, but I think a lot of us joined physical therapy as a career because we felt it was safe and it would always be around, and 9 to 5 would be fine and cover our expenses. Well,
But
A,
it's not
no,
the case.
it doesn't, and B, we're not bulletproof. No, this pandemic showed us that no profession is bulletproof.
Yeah,
And
you're
so,
100%.
yeah, the only way you're going to fix that is by diversifying, your background and your skill sets. And the pandemic's a perfect time to learn because so many people are sitting around. So many people don't have jobs.
It
So
is, it is. And it is why I'm going to be doing a free webinar at the top of next month.
awesome.
And I'm creating, it's called Broke Scholars Trading Academy.
I love it.
So Broke Scholars Trading Academy is basically for anyone, but I'm really targeting my college students, my pre-physical therapy, pre-med, pre-law students. Physical therapy does have a thing, but these other professions also, we're seeing this debt to income ratio issue across many professions coming up. So my goal is to, just like you said, allow people to see it in front of them, let them know someone that they follow, that they've seen my journey, that it's not fake, it's not a scam, it's a real thing, and it works. And it can literally change, your life. I'm able to see pro bono patients because I trade,
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
most of us as physical therapists would do our job for free if we could. If we didn't need money, we would help people for free because we love it that much. We love our patients. We love getting them
Right.
better. These are the kind of things that start building wealth enough for you to choose when and where you do that. So the pro bono
Exactly.
thing is, I mean, that's part of our practice act, right? In the APTA, the
Mhm.
handbook, pro bono work is part of what we as physical therapists need to embody and perform. So
And I feel like we don't do enough. And we don't do
you
enough
can't.
not because we don't want to,
Right.
because we financially and through time and how we're dealing with insurance, we can't.
Right.
And recently in my clinic, I've kind of digressed to searching and seeking out those that have been lost in the system. So I'm taking in those Medicaid patients. You'll be surprised how many patients I've taken in who had surgery in 2019 and have never gotten physical therapy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And it's 2021.
Yeah.
And all of them say, I am so glad you could take me.
Yeah.
No one is taking me. They're not taking Medicaid in Atlanta. I don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
They're just not taking it. Like,
Wild. Like I said, we're just in unprecedented times right now, and we need problem solvers. We need folks more out there doing the things you're doing and trying to help as many people as we can. So, well, Ashley, thank you so much for your time and for coming on here today. I really appreciate it. What's one tip you would give to somebody brand new in the Forex market, somebody who's just getting started? What's one tip or hack that you like to give, one golden nugget that you could tell people just getting started?
one golden nugget would be to research, like get on YouTube and learn about it before you make any decisions. And send me a DM on Instagram. I'm definitely, like I said, that's why I'm building the Broke Scholars Trading Academy, so we can have these you know, free golden nuggets. Just do what I like. I'm okay, but I want to see everyone else be okay. And I want to see our population have I want to see physical therapists have more interaction with our population. And if financial is a barrier, then we have to break it and we have to do something different. Like it's time to change.
I love it. I love it. Well, Ashley, where can people reach out to you and find you if they have follow-up questions or want to, learn more about this learning platform?
Right. Just send me a DM on any of my social media platforms. It's at DocJayPT, DocJayPT, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Send me a DM and I'll get you started.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Ashley. I really appreciate it. And I hope that our audience learned a little bit from it today as well.
Yes, sir.